Good morning. My name is meteorologist Stephen DiMartino. I am the owner and meteorologist of NY and JPA Weather, here to provide some weather content and hopefully a nice relationship back and forth at metxweather.com, which is a part of the tomorrow.io platform. So certainly fun to be here, and thank you for joining. So, first and foremost, we have a heavy rainfall event on the way, setting up especially for tomorrow night into Thursday morning, that we really need to keep an eye on for the potential for some flash flooding. So let's take a look at some of the factors that are organizing here. So we've had a pleasant period of weather, especially for much of this weekend and for the start of this week. I mean, yesterday was absolutely beautiful. Anytime you can get temperatures staying in the 70s and the lower 80s in the summer, early June, mid-June, whenever, that is beautiful. And take it and run with it, because we all know we can get temperatures easily in the 90s with high humidity. But that nice weather is coming to an end with this warm front that is lifting north through the eastern Great Lakes. We have periods of rain already setting up from the Ohio River Valley, Tennessee River Valley, all the way up into the eastern Great Lakes. This is initially what we call warm air transport. Warm air and moisture invading the region, getting rid of this high pressure. So we'll see increasing cloud cover throughout the day today as a result. The first wave that's going to be moving through is driven by this trough right here, okay? And this feature right here will lift up towards the St. Lawrence River Valley and towards portions of southern Quebec. And as a result, the forcing and lifting, the providing support for the surface cold front is basically going to fall off, and that's going to allow for the cold front to stall out before it reaches our area. So as a result, we'll have this whole cold front hanging around the region for tonight on through tomorrow, and that's going to keep us in the threat for isolated showers throughout the day for tomorrow. So this rainfall that's moving through looks impressive now, but it will weaken as it approaches. That's why we're only expecting scattered showers for tonight into early tomorrow morning. But the next short wave that we're keeping an eye on, this one right here, well, it's going to swing along, and it's going to interact with that frontal boundary and cause a wave of low pressure. And that wave of low pressure is going to intensify and lift all the moisture that I'm going to show you over the northern mid-Atlantic, and that's going to lead to the threat for some very heavy rainfall with some embedded thunderstorms. So a key feature to keep an eye on is the 500 millibar PVA. This is the vertical velocity. This is the rapid rising of air in the atmosphere. And so for the first feature, notice it weakens as it approaches and kind of lags behind. And notice by tomorrow it's very disorganized, right? So this leads to a mix of clouds, a few isolated showers. You have moisture in the atmosphere, but nothing too impressive. Then our next wave comes in for Thursday morning. Now look, now that is impressive, okay? Now you have all this strong lifting on Thursday morning over southern New England, over the Hudson River Valley, the northern mid-Atlantic, leaving the southern mid-Atlantic. Now you combine that with deep moisture. This is what we call precipitable water value. This is the amount of water that the atmosphere is holding. So you combine lifting of the lower levels of the moisture, okay, and that's rising, combined with the mid-level moisture already being transported in, and that's a lot of moisture. Now, typically during a rainfall event, you're somewhere between 0.5 and 1. Okay, that's your light to moderate rainfall event. When you start going over 1, that's when you start to get moderate to heavy rainfall. When you're going over 2, well, that's some tropical downpours. That's torrential downpours. And when you start talking about tropical low pressure systems, that's when you start to get into this range up here. So that's why, let's say in Florida, where we had all that heavy rainfall from our developing tropical storm Alex, that was all because the precipitable water in the atmosphere was easily over 2 inches. So in this scenario here on Thursday morning, you can see we have some very heavy, very impressive moisture transport in the atmosphere that is supporting precipitable water values around 2 inches, pushing above 2 inches in some locations. So this leads to the potential for some very heavy downpours early on Thursday morning. So what I like to do in this scenario is take a look at the mesoscale models, the small scale models, because they get a better idea of the small lifting parameters in the atmosphere that drive these heavy rainfall events. So again, you always use the right tool for the right job. When you're using large scale, you use synoptic scale models. That's the GFS and the European. Small scale, use the NAM, HRR, so on and so forth. So in this scenario, again, there's our showers breaking up for tonight into tomorrow morning. Then they kind of linger around throughout the day tomorrow. Nothing too heavy, though. Generally light rainfall because the lifting is relatively weak. Then here we come Wednesday night into Thursday morning, especially after 2 a.m. Look at this, just train just running right in, a wall of heavy rainfall marching right into the area and swinging on through. Very impressive heavy rainfall on the way. This is going to easily lead to rainfall rates over a quarter of an inch, possibly over a half an inch per hour, and some locations pushing over an inch of rain in a very short period of time, just ahead of rush hour. So Thursday morning rush hour is going to be a bit of a problem from basically Philadelphia on through Boston. So just be prepared for that. That is our first video, and I'm looking forward to doing more. And thank you for joining, and I will see you later.